Hi, I'm Carlin. Thanks for checking out my video to my electric bike project that I'm naming Turtle. I live about 15 miles from the nearest town, where the post office, gas station, and civilized people live. In April, I sold my truck, leaving a broken down motorcycle and a couple of bicycles. What you're about to see is my attempt at building an off-grid DIY survival quadricycle, a pedal-powered microcar with electric solar assist. I did a little research, but my way is most likely not the best way to do this. Once a week, I ride a bicycle into town to check mail and packages. I like bike riding, so I'm kind of looking forward to trying this out. That's the plan anyway. Stay tuned and be sure to subscribe if you're interested.
Holy crap.
Hello and welcome to the new DIY Delta Trike project that I'm calling Recon. This is a work in progress. My goal is to make a Delta-style recumbent trike. That means there's one wheel in the front and two wheels in the back. Recumbent just means that you're leaning back instead of sitting upright. The plan for today, as much fun as this prototype was, that wasn't the end goal. It was just put together only to test if I could use the front motor to pull the trike, and that worked ridiculously well, way better than I expected. Okay. One of the things I really want to be able to do is to pedal, and in case I have a problem with the battery or the motor or something breaks. It's just, if I'm 12, 15 miles from home, that's a long walk pushing something like this. So pedaling has to work. I'll probably end up making two of these, one for going from here to town just to get packages, and then make another one that I could take longer distances. So I'll use the one with the motorcycle wheels for going to town. That'll be good on the gravel. And then if I decide to pursue this like for an actual touring setup. So, as always, first step is to move everything to get to the one I need. All the things that will fall when I pick it up, probably. I forgot the ramp doesn't actually work here. Okay, step one complete. I put these up just to keep the rabbits from going in. What I'm hoping to be able to do is, if I can keep the rabbits out and keep the snakes out, and then I can poison the mice. Killed a few that way already. Never going to get them all, but I didn't feel like making a real door that day, so this works okay. Alright, two things. Look at the ground. Don't see any snakes. We'll need this later. All right, maybe that's all we need. Okay, we're going to resurrect what I call the Chariot from what was previously called the Blue Bike Electric Trike. I've cut parts off of this, and now I'm thinking I might want those parts back again. So I'm going to have to rebuild part of this, but this one was ridiculously heavy but very strong. It's made basically all out of square tubing instead of the U-channel, so it's pretty rigid. How about that? For now, that'll be fine. All right, try again. First thing I got to figure out is how much room I need for my seat and how far I can reach forward to hit the pedals. Like, that's a lot too close. So figure my max extension is about there. Could probably even go further forward. Okay, also I'm going to be a little more leaned back. So that would mean I can reach forward to here. Okay, I'm going to need some clamps, and the clamps are on the old bike. Go ahead and put the wheel back on, and this will be a bike again. Yeah, that'd be about right. Oh, that's actually really close. I can always move my seat forward. So if I figure out what the maximum back could be, that's a little bit too far, but that could work. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty close actually. Make a little mark there so I know where I'm going to sit. I wouldn't say I'm finished for the day, but that answered the questions I really wanted to answer. I think for now, instead of messing with trying to do a differential, I'm just going to have the electric drive one of the rear motors, and I will pedal the other rear motor. Or the electric drive will drive one rear wheel, and I will pedal to the other rear wheel. The tricky bit, when I built this last time, I had additional bracing between the seat post and the top of the Chariot, but that's exactly where I'm going to be sitting, so I can't. Okay, we got before 8 o'clock. Haven't actually started anything yet, but we're getting closer. goal is to get out here earlier in the morning. I usually slack off and don't get started till 9. It's just before 8 now. Take advantage of the shade that I've got from the house. So I got enough room out here to work and not die in the sun. And then when it gets warmer, I can go back inside and knock off for the day. So where we left off last time is this is the part from the Blue Bike Electric Trike project. I call that the Chariot. It was set up that I could put 2 motorcycle wheels on the inboard side of the loop. So we saw that before. Okay. So what I'm thinking, I actually cut the parts off that mounted the wheels. So I'll have to find those and put them on again or make new ones or whatever. So that was that, and then this hoop here, and this is from the old Turtle project. Okay. What I was thinking is I might be able to use that chassis part, basically the square part, and it's got the triangles in here that makes it kind of like a ladder frame. And because it was on 2 different levels, it's pretty rigid. So I'll cut the front off. However, I might be able to use some of these parts as they are. So that's today's plan, is to kind of mock this up see if I can use this part, because it's already built. That'll make things a lot faster. So the next thing I figured was 11 or 12 inches from the back here to where the seat bottom would be. Oh, that's going to be good. These brackets here were made for the seat. So if I can reuse them, that's all the better. And yeah. This is awesome. I just kind of was looking at this. I'm like, man, this would be so great if I could reuse this thing. Obviously, we don't need this part, so I'll have to cut that off. That's cool. Derailer's going to be a problem. Okay. Now this is all going to be hanging out in space, so. Oh, look at that. Like a glove. Because this was made for a BMX bike, which is single speed, these brackets are too narrow, so there's a lot of slack, which is fine for what we're doing now. There's got to be at least a ½ an inch of extra slack though. Yeah, this kind of thing, if I can bolt it together instead of welding everything together, that makes things a lot easier to make changes. Okay, so what we got, Chariot in the back, there's the seat, this is left over from Turtle, and the boom that comes out the front is where the pedals were on the old prototype. So we get this whole thing is cantilevered off the front, off of these two clamps that are here. All right. So the next thing, my next measurement I made last time, from here, I want the bottom bracket where the pedals are to be 45 inches from that. So I'm going to get rid of these guys. I got a bunch of little brackets I can cut off to get things in the right spot. On the last one, I had the chains come down and then through. And if I can hit any of those same locations, I've already got holes drilled for it. 8:40 in the morning. How about that? This was my goal for today, was to figure this out. Now that I've got it, I think I will bring some grinders out and cut off the parts I don't need and then shorten this piece. And I don't know if I want to do any welding today, but if I get it at least cut off, then I can decide if I want to do welding. What I'm looking at is that shadow is getting closer, so we're going to be in sunlight pretty soon. And from last year, I remember it was just really hot and miserable in the sun working out here. So good thing about being on this side, I'm really close to an outside plug-in, so I got a short cord I can work with. Okay, it's about 10:30. Couple hours, I guess, today. It's a good stopping point. This is just clamped on, so I chopped 8 inches out of here, and I removed the bracing that was there. What's that little guy doing out here? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take this apart so it doesn't fall apart. All right, that's it for now. Back it up and take a break. Hello and welcome to the new DIY Delta Trike project that I'm calling Recon. This is a work in progress. My goal is to make a Delta style recumbent trike. That means there's one wheel in the front and two wheels in the back. Recumbent just means that you're leaning back instead of sitting upright. This particular one is going to be optimized for use off-highway on a pretty rough gravel and sand road. I'll mostly be using this to go between my ranch and the post office, a round trip of about 25 miles. I sometimes do this several times a week. I'm making use of a bunch of stuff I already have, like the motorcycle wheels are left over from the Blue Bike electric trike project from 2020. The blue bike you see in this video is the same frame, but in a previous video I tested using the cargo trailer I had made a few years ago. That was just put together to test if a front hub motor would have enough traction to pull me around. Surprisingly, that actually worked. We might come back to that in the future. One of the first projects I built in this series was called Turtle, which started as a four-wheel kind of a go-kart thing. I'd intended to make it a hybrid of pedal power and an electric motor. Turtle had a huge list of problems that I wasn't able to solve at the time. I'd been trying to spot weld my own batteries, but didn't have a good enough spot welder. I was working from a pile of scrap metal and old bikes that were donated. Some things worked, but mostly not. I learned a lot from that project, though. In this new Delta Trike project, I'm trying to learn from the previous efforts, and it looks like I'll be able to reuse a lot of the parts I already have, including big pieces of frame and chassis I'd welded a couple years ago. The part I'm calling the Chariot was from the Blue Bike electric trike. It was made specifically for the motorcycle wheels. I got those because I'd been breaking a lot of spokes and getting a lot of flat tires with the thorns out here. The motorcycle wheels should solve most of that.
The 48 volt 750 watt gear motor I have came with a 420 size sprocket, so the motorcycle wheels also have 420 sprockets. The main chassis I'm using was from the Turtle 4-wheel go-kart project. I'll do some cutting and new welding, but reusing that will save me a bunch of time, hopefully. The metal I'm using all came from the school bus I used to live in. I saved all the metal seat frames, and that's been working out great for this kind of project. You'll probably be thinking this looks pretty heavy. It is. But I'm learning out here I need to overbuild things so they don't break on the road. It's rough out here. I can make up for the inefficiency of the extra weight with more batteries. I'll be using several electric bike batteries. I will be pedaling in addition to the electric motor. I may also add solar to this in the future. I have about 4,000 miles of experience with solar-assisted electric bicycling from last year, 2022, when I toured the 12 western U.S. states. Look for the 22 states playlist videos if you're curious. The goal had been 22 states for the 22 veterans who are committing suicide every day. As I had started with the big states, I did cover a lot of miles, even though I didn't make all 22. States visited in order: Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and then back through Colorado and New Mexico again on the way back home. Alright, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the continuing build. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some useful ideas there. I've not been talking about this very much lately, but my main source of income has been these YouTube videos. The actual money I make from the ads is quite small. What actually keeps me going is a few people that are helping me out over on Patreon or YouTube members. Just a few bucks every month would sure make a huge difference. So if you get anything out of my content, there's a link down below, or I'll put it up on screen. You can help me out through Patreon, which is a monthly subscription. You can also do YouTube members, or you can just throw me a buck on PayPal once in a while. It all helps. Thank you very much. Bye for now.